it was probably, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking, and you told me that Jaron, J-Mac, is the most competitive person on the team. I was just curious, as you go along preseason practice, in what ways has he demonstrated that competitiveness along with his leadership in the back end of the defense?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, camp was only 10 days this year instead of, a regular 20 to 25-day camp. But, it was still tough. It's still a grind. And, that competitive nature in him, he just came out to practice every single day and was consistent. That's the main thing. Doing the same thing every day over and over again and doing it at 100% and doing it full speed. It's so great because he sets the example, not only for the defense, not only for the offense, but, it really emphasizes, that to the young guys as well about how you need to be consistent, how you need to stay on track and, and how hard work pays off.
How do you feel like his move back to safety will benefit him the most in the Wildcats?
I feel like that's going to be very beneficial for him. Even though despite his size, he's more of the size of a safety rather than a linebacker, but he can come downhill and he can hit you like a linebacker. So that's the thing that makes him so dangerous, especially at the position that he's in. With what he's doing, he's obviously dropping back into coverage a lot, but he's coming down quite a bit, playing in the box too. So that's just the main thing that he helps us out with on defense, just because of his physicality.
Thank you, Wyatt.
You're welcome.
Ellis?
Hey, Wyatt. I'm sure you're going to be a little bit of a marked man this season, given all you accomplished last year and everybody knows you. How do you plan to work around that and still, put up numbers and get in the backfield and make tackles this season?
Yeah. Well, that's a question I've been asked multiple times, and, it's something that I've put a lot of thought and consideration into. And, the only really two answers I can come up with to answer that question is, the first one is, I just have to improve my pass rush and improve my game. Now I have to learn how to pass rush, with the running back, running a wheel route with a little chip before I start rushing the tackle, or, them sliding the protection towards my way, how to deal with that. And, it's obviously going to be a lot tougher, but, players deal with it all the time. Some players let it, deplete their stats from the previous year, but some players, take it as a challenge and usually end up with better stats. So obviously that's my goal, is to end up with better stats than last year with that extra challenge I have in front of me. And, the second answer to that question is, just film study. The more the more about the offense, which way they're going to slide, which type of protection they're going to have on third down, just the overall knowledge of the offense. And that's what's going to be the main, factor in helping me, get back there in the backfield and, causing havoc.
And just how seriously are you guys taking, safety protocols right now, given that there are more people on campus and that this, you probably do need to be a little bit more safer right now?
Yeah. Well, the precautions we're taking at Kansas State, I think, are, the best in the Big 12. Just from what I've seen on social media to other schools and how they're handling it, I can pretty much say that Kansas State, I think, is handling it the best way possible. And, we do have the option to continue our classes online, even though if it is not an online class. So just, make the players feel safe and protected. And, it's tough because students, we can, honestly say, a lot of students aren't going to follow protocol and procedures to stay safe and help and, keep the COVID down. But that's something that we have to do. That's something that's mandatory for us players. And if we're around those regular students on a daily basis, that just increases the chances of something bad happening for us and within our program. So, being given that option to take classes online is definitely something that's very great for us.
John?
Yeah, Wyatt, just how much size have you been able to add this offseason?
Yeah. Well, last season I played about I weighed about 263 to 265-ish, somewhere in that range. I was obviously big enough, but, I obviously just kept working hard and kept grinding on and off the field. And, I got my way up to 270. A lot of people are kind of surprised that I'll be able to play at 270. Some people believe that, it'll take away from my quickness and my speed. But, that's the one thing that I always harped on, that always kept my main focus point, was just always keep, no matter what weight I'm playing at, always keep my speed, my agility, up there with it. So.
What was your setup that you had when things were locked down? You couldn't use the facility to work out. What were you able to use to help yourself this offseason?
Yeah, well, it's pretty fortunate because, over quarantine, all that stuff, I actually did not go home. I stayed in Manhattan the whole time, the whole spring semester, just so I could stay focused on, the things that I needed to stay focused on. And, I was very lucky because one of my best friends from high school has a whole home gym at his house here in Manhattan. So I just used that the whole off season. And like I said, super fortunate and super lucky because he had all the equipment that I needed.
What are your individual goals for the upcoming season?
I just have one individual goal, actually probably two or three, but, from a personal goal, obviously I want to have better stats than last year. Marking at 7.5 sacks, that was okay. But, I want to get in double digits. I want to, increase my tackle for losses, stuff like that. And, another personal goal is just developing my leadership. There's a lot of young guys. The competitiveness at every single position this year is a lot higher than what it was at last year. And, any spot can be taken at any moment, this year, just from a younger guy and from guys stepping up. And, that's something that drives us older players to stand up and, keep leading and keep being a good example.
Appreciate it, Wyatt. Thanks.
Thank you.
Go these last two right here, starting with Scott Fritchin.
Yeah, two quick questions. First, are you taking all your classes online this semester?
I am, yes.
And how many credit hours is that online?
Well, I'm pretty lucky. I was supposed to graduate in the spring, but, due to COVID, that kind of messed everything up. So I'm actually enrolled in 3 credit hours at the moment. And
okay.
This will be my last class until I'm a K-State grad.
Tough semester.
So a lot of extra time and effort put into football, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. And then secondly, it was just announced that K-State's going to be at 25% capacity. Just what are the thoughts and at least having some fans in the stands for you this year?
Yeah, well, having fans in the stands, that's what makes up game day or not. And, whether the fans are in the stadium or not, I think it'd be such a different game if no fans were allowed. And, obviously the student body, makes up such a big and such the game day experience of playing at Kansas State. But, I'm still happy that they, passed that rule with 25% capacity because, obviously us players are going out there and we need our main supporters there, which are our parents, which are our relatives, the people who got us to where we are today. Obviously the boosters and, all what they do, how much they give to this program and, even the north end zone with all what's going on with that. Obviously we wish we could have everyone there, but, not having everyone there is good, or not is bad. But, like I said, we just need our main supporters there.
Last one, Kellis.
Thanks for squeezing me in, Ryan. Appreciate it. Wyatt, everybody else has talked about him. I want to get your thoughts on him. Khalid Duke, is he as good as everybody says right now?
Khalid Duke is a baller. And, what makes him a baller, he has all the intangibles. He's definitely a God-gifted defensive end. He's about 6'4", 240. Great quickness, great size, and, just great football instinct. He's quick off the ball, quick off the snap. Obviously, he's a young guy with not much playing experience, but, that'll come over time. And, I've definitely taken him under my wing and show him what I can show him just from experience, how to watch film, what to do, all the keys and tendencies to catch up on that make you a better player. And, I'm excited for his future. I'm excited to play next to him this fall.